What's up, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to another broadcast from Chaos Reign here. Welcome again. And to those that step into the stream, please hit the like button as you enter the building. Oh, and one other thing, I apologize for late tardiness. I kind of scheduled the show a little awkward because, things had to be settled first. You know how it goes, Black people, we sometimes come on time or we come a little late, but nonetheless, the show does come on regardless. But you know how it goes. Another thing, you could also share this video at the end of the stream, and let the word spread out. Usually like will go further than share, but I know nowadays. But nonetheless, enjoy the show. Let me do this one quick thing. But nonetheless, all right. So for those that are tuning in, I have my good friend here again, come back on my stream again for the second time. And today's subject we're gonna talk about food and herbs and healing and etc. We're gonna focus specific on this portion of this stream tonight. And I will also drop the links of where you can get the herbs. And I believe, Terrance, the seed banks, if I go on your page on Facebook, you got the link where I could also share or drop that as well, possibly?
I haven't placed it on there yet.
Shoot. Is there any way you could send me through Messenger? Like, I don't know if you could possibly send me a quick message of the link. Possibly?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Yeah, so as you talk, I'll find it and share my screen on it, all right? All right, so no further ado, let's get started. Welcome again, Terrance Miller, to my stream again, to Chaos Reign stream. How you been so far? What's been lately up with you lately?
In constant transformation, constantly evolving, growing, preparing myself, anticipating for the next endeavor.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Okay. Before we start, let me ask one of my questions, regardless, to your own perspective or definition. What is food? Because a lot of people feel we just take some, eat it. But really, what is really food to man and woman?
So food is a plant-based substance that revitalizes and nourishes our being. Like this, it helps us establish clarity, attunement, perseverance, vitality, homeostasis. That's the intent of the original food conceived by nature. not what we encounter today, which is not food, but more so an adulteration 10 times over from the original.
Okay. 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 Yes. Yes. All right. Now with food, what is herbs, and really what really is a herb to the body? You know, because a lot
Well,
of
we got
people say when people hear the word herbs, sometimes what goes in the back of the mouth of the average person does say something that they could smoke, something they could ingest, or something that they could apply to the body. But really, what is herbs?
well, it's all of what you mentioned and others. I mean, you got first of all, you have four categories of herbs. You got herbs that cleanse and detoxify. You got herbs that relieve symptoms like swelling or circulation. Then you have herbs that strengthen and tone. They're called tonics. And there's a certain category of herbs that fit that profile, like, all your berries, like raspberries, bilberries, blueberries, black raspberries, blackberries, all the leaves of all your berries include your fruit, but more so the leaves, which are herbs. The fruit is food, but the leaves are tonic. And then you have herbs that nourish, and those are the wild plants that were intended as food. The wild plant predated the herbs because herbs wasn't needed initially because the only food that people had at their disposal was the wild food. You know, once, millenniums and thousands of years after we had incarnated on this planet, you know, at some point in time we began to eat flesh. And that's when herbs were very necessary. Because if you study indigenous people, like we don't really have much information and contact on some of the shamans in Africa. Since we in the Western Hemisphere diaspora, you have a lot of shamans in Central and South America, so we're more familiar with them. Well, that's where the U.S. became more familiar with a lot of wild herbs, and they took those herbs and extract certain constituents and properties from them, and that became the formation of the pharmaceutical. The pharmaceutical extract properties from the herbs. They don't use the whole herb. That's why you have side effects. So that shows you in nature, if nature assembles something with different components, you cannot extract and remove certain components because, of course, it won't function the same way that it was intended to because nature placed all those components in one fact because all of them was necessary to give the plant the purpose in which it came here to serve. So by extracting from it, you take away from that purpose. That's why we have side effects. Just like, okay, there's a poppy plant. In the leaves of the flowers, that is, of the poppy plant, you have natural morphine. And when you look in the herb book on the natural morphine, the same conditions that a heroin user goes through when they're trying to withdraw, the vomiting, the spasm, cramping, the physical discomforts, the pain. If you look under the meaning in the herb book about the poppy, it will show you those same attributes because you have heroin, you have codeine, and then you have morphine. Codeine they give to you at the dentist to numb your gums. No, not codeine. That's a derivative of cocaine. But the heroin is like the last remaining portion of the heroin once you extract the morphine from it. So the plant really should be used in its whole form. But it's to show you how when you take something that nature has created and you use it, it becomes an addiction, like heroin is, whether you inhale it through your nose or snip it through your nose or inject it in your veins. So this is an example of how, you know, plants were not made to be adulterated. You know, there's a genetic code for everything that nature has created. And when man disrupts that genetic code, the byproduct of what he altered will be dysfunctional and counterproductive, productive, as opposed to productive.
Mm-hmm.
The Western science, they can't tap into that spiritual significance of the plant. They just see it as a physical, biological thing with no spirit, you know, so they can take it and alter it. And that's how they have a misperception. Like they say tomatoes and peppers are not good. They say spinach is not good because it has oxalic acid. Well, oxalic acid, when it's in the combination with other compounds, performs differently than it does by itself. How can I prove that? Nobody can sit here and drink chlorine and expect to live, but they never told you that the gastric fluid that's responsible for breaking down a bulk of your food in your stomach is composed of hydrochloric acid, chlorine and hydrogen combined. So notice,
Mm-hmm.
chlorine is not bad still. It's in combination with something because that's how things are created in nature. You never find, when you find most of the minerals that you find, the rocks, they in combination with other, they call ores. You only have a number of native elements. And those are minerals that you will find in an individual form. But that's a rarity. But as far as biological substances, everything has to function. That's why we need different minerals, because each mineral has the responsibility of facilitating certain endocrine, neurological, and metabolic activities in the body. So, uh, so we have to be mindful of, just like with supplements. Oh, I take B vitamins. When people take these vitamins, they urinate a majority of the vitamin out of their system, but the body can't use it because it's in inorganic form. Organic form is life. So that plant should only be used in whole form, not extracted. Like I said, that's a Western dynamic. They don't see the significance. And that's unfortunate at this juncture because there's so much information out there, there's so much research, and people are too transparent, meaning they don't have filters. What is a filter? Metabolically, metaphorically, a filter is a measure of discernment. How the unwanted things are left out and only the beneficial things are absorbed. Just like with an air filter and a fuel filter in your car.
Mm-hmm.
It filters out the debris and unwanted things and only allows the pure gas or pure air to enter into the engine intake of the car. The same with us. It's a lot of information that serves us either misunderstanding or ill health. Well, people become too receptive and they don't have them filtered because you have to qualify yourself to be receptive.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I mean by that? That means that you owe it to yourself to just not accept something because it sounds good or the pedigree of who it comes from. But you can listen to it, but then you should be obligated to go and study the simple foundations of that subject matter. And those basic fundamentals will allow you to determine whether or not the information that you had received is beneficial or not. So we don't do that. We just accept the blindly. It's like the food chain. This is all we need. These are all the essentials you need to be healthy. Okay, so people eat from those four groups: the grains, the dairy, the meats, the fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
But why? And not only we have more illnesses at an all-time high, but you have more degenerative form of illnesses than ever before. I'm like, all these, so many women, particularly indigenous women, have their thyroid removed, their parathyroid removed, the uterus removed, breast removed because of breast cancer. ovarian problems, ectopic pregnancy. That's when the egg begins to grow inside the fallopian tube. All these reproductive things. So abnormalities, things that don't malfunction for no reason. If something is malfunctioning, that means something is entering the body that cause adverse reaction on one end and to inhibit the natural process on the other. So when we look at chronologically, if we look at 10-year intervals, decades, we're in from 2010 to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, we'll be entering another decade. So let's look at this past decade from 2010 to 2019. Then look from 2000 to 2009, and then look from 90 to 99. 90 to 99 is when Alice's really began to make its presence known. Before that, and by me living in different cities and multiple places in each city, I'm kind of aware of my surroundings. And I never saw the Alice descendants like I do now.
Interesting.
I never known women to get their thyroid and parathyroid removed. Then the fibroid thing became more prominent in the early 90s. Well, in the 80s, they used to put something called BST to women, and they would give it to them because it would help them endure child labor pain. Then, and they wanted to ensure that the fetus grows correctly. Then they replaced that with the bovine growth hormone from cows. But we already know that a cow has 300% more sugars, protein, and fats in his body than we do. So that means his hormone is designed to metabolize those same complex components. So now if you give it to a human body, the body is going to begin to grow. Certain organs are going to grow, like the thyroid. When the thyroid grows, they used to call it goiter, that you have an iodine deficiency. But it was a selenium deficiency as well, and the fact that the hormones they use now, when you had the hormones from the non-genetically altered cow, you only had things like fibroid tumors, ovarian cysts, breast cancer, breast tumors. Then the tumor made the transformation into the cancer. It's like men having swollen prostatitis. Then that made a transformation into prostate cancer, just as when the thyroid goiter began to manifest as thyroid cancer. Well, what do those three things have in common? Well, they started genetically engineering cows so they could become 50% bigger. And they started using the hormones from the genetically engineered cow, which is 50 times bigger. So now these hormones accelerate growth. Hormone is a chemical messenger. It signals to the cell to accelerate growth rate and size. That's why when you look at fibroid tumors, it shows the same blood vessels attached to the wall of the uterus called the endometrium, and those same vessels are attached to what appears to be a non-human entity. If the body is responding to that as though it's growing a fetus, now you got fibroid tumors. These things didn't always exist. So now we see that not only are the disease becoming more or greater in number, but the severity of illness that it causes also it grows exponentially. So now you have to get organs removed, breasts removed, and people are not taking notice. All the infant mortality, and it's a really an attack on the woman of color. Plain and simple, because she's the lifeline to all of humanity. He was the one with the initial single strand DNA, not double, single strand DNA. Out of Africa, people say, oh, well, other places. I'm like, but they always refer to it as a Y haploid. You call them the Y haploid, we know that X came before Y. What about the woman began to create being from an internal cellular differentiation process where from the X chromosome came the Y. The Y didn't duplicate the X because women have more genetic functioning than we do, so she has to have more genes to account for that. Well, the X takes up so much space about a man having less genetic material that one leg is missing because the man doesn't have the same amount of genetic material, and we know this because of the mitochondria. The woman has 37 genes just in her mitochondria that man does not have. And that when the X and the Y match up with the next X and Y, what happens is they both attach to each other. The X attaches to the X and the Y attaches to the Y because they complementary. So understanding that by the black woman being the original, should I say indigenous woman being the original, if you disrupt her reproductive functioning, then not only she can't reproduce, but then the whole world suffers.
Mm. Mm. But let me say something, Terrance. But do you feel in the society, especially the people that is orchestrating this manipulation of food and everything else that we see in front of us, do you think that they really, I would say, give a crap if the black woman's still able to produce life with uh the original man, the black man, or any other man? Like the normal, but the physical and carrying the child and burping at this stage of the game we see today.
Well, they have to care because you have to consider
Mm-hmm.
that European Americans are losing their birth rate. That means it's a 5-to-4 ratio. For every 5 deaths, there's 4 births.
Mm-hmm.
So to prevent or to slow down the process of us outpopulating them, if you start offering women fertility drugs, you start manipulating them in the hospital, then you decrease their ability to produce. Because with all the abortions, our population increase is very little. Because it's the number one demise of us in this country is not murder, not illness, but abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And women say our bodies, so they make it affirm that we do with our body what we want. Then I'm okay with that. But if they created some synthetic birth control, whatever they create synthetically, the idea came from something that was in the natural form. So that means it would have to be herbs that would naturally abort child, or baby, or fetus, which they are. So most people don't know about it. And the people that do, you have to advertise it in a certain way. You can't make it seem as though you out here providing somebody something for abortion. When that's a medical procedure in the hospital, you would have to use a different language. Just like as an herbalist, you can't say you cure. You have to use a different language.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely care. This is the survival of the fittest. You understand? There's only so much fossil fuel. There's only so much natural gas. And there's only so many minerals that they can have access to. So the agenda here is to reduce the population from 7.5 million to 750,000.
Mm-hmm.
But that less many people, less people going to use resources. Then they'll last a lot longer. They don't care whether or not the resources last beyond their existence because they already have accepted. Even though they accept it on one hand, they're steady in the laboratory trying to uncover something. Ain't no lab and no existence. grown remedies what lies before them. Because as Mendel said, and Mendel was one of theirs, that's why Darwin get more juice than Mendel. Darwin was wrong. Natural selection don't exist. Natural mutation, it don't exist.
Mm.
Just because something changed, you don't make it a hybrid. There's an allele that sits where the right in the middle of the X chromosome, not the Y chromosome, but the X chromosome, and it gives things different variations of form that it can take on. So if the conditions begin to change, it has its diversity, and I see it when I plant. When I plant on different soil, the plant shows me different aspects of itself. The only and why didn't indigenous plants can do that. So trust me, I done planted on about 30 different soils, and I've grown so-called heirloom hybrids much longer than I have the wild plants. And I can assure you, on all the different soil types I grew it in, it all looks the same, no matter where I grew it. If it don't have the diversity, all of it is gone. They had to breed it out to stabilize it to make it open pollinated. That's a whole other topic. But so the new thing, no matter what they're doing, the answer is with us. The remedy is with us. I know these sisters, they went to the UK they were born in Bermuda Island. And they went to the UK to study genetics. They said they're going to take the Western man's science and create and alter all the mutations. And there's a group on Facebook called MTHFR. You kind of know what that sounds like, mother effort.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because so many people, it's about 100 and some thousand people in that group, 150, 170,000. And they all suffering from some form of mental, physical disorder. And they think the answer is in science. Ain't no life in no laboratory. The life is out here in nature. The trees, the birds, the species, the insects, the flora. That's in nature. Ain't nothing biological existing in no lab. So how you gonna uncover? And this to show you how the God complex, the indigenous person gonna always consult nature. The shaman, they're gonna always consult nature. It's not a laboratory. The laboratory is a Johnny come lately. The forest has been around before we were here. So which one has more tenure? The lab or the forest?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. So why would you go look at these so-called indigenous people studying his science? How you gonna take his science? His science ain't divine. And they call themselves Christians. There ain't no spirit attached to it. Where the spirit is? They don't talk to no plants. They're not on. They don't resonate like George Washington Carver. What are they doing? Why do we trust these people? What has happened to us? Like really? They have no pedigree. They don't love their laugh. The people love nature and they love the plants. They can communicate with you. Plants talk to you different ways. They talk to me. You just have to be in tune with it. You have to have love for the plant in order for it to talk to you. If you don't love it, it's like a woman. There's certain things she ain't gonna do if you don't show her love. That plant is the same way.
Yeah, and as you could tell, Stephen Curry, I learned at the hard way, Anisha Curry said that she's looking for that male attention.
She got it. She got her husband. You asking for trouble. You don't want that. Because he get it. But it ain't the point that he get it. He don't want it. And she has to understand this is the whole groupie thing was started by women, not me. That's why when you see like the first performance amongst us, like Chuck Berry, Little Richard, James Brown, Chuck Berry, those that when they performed in venues, none of us was allowed. It was all white audience. And it was the white girls that was throwing pennies on the stage. I want you to have my baby. I want some from you. So then, but us being in American society, everything they do, we eventually do. That's why you can look at virtually every single thing they do. Over time, we have gradually adopted. So we're not some. We like to ski now. We like to jump from airplanes and helicopters. They
Even getting tattoos now.
yeah, exactly. Everything they do, we do. So you know we don't have no cultural identity because you got cultural identity. You don't do as other people do. You do as your culture does.
Mm.
So that's all that is. So
Mm-hmm.
and as long as you stay in a society with these images are constantly bombarding and feeding your subconscious mind, that's how the mind works. That's what the Moors taught the Jesuit priests in Spain. When they were looking for an ally so they wouldn't get expelled out of Spain, the Moors showed them that. That's why the first language was a sign language, because the symbols is worth 1,000 words. But when people couldn't tap into all those possibilities, they had to start spelling it out. And that's when the official language as we know today was born. The hieroglyphs, one glyph got many possibilities. So
Mm.
we don't have the, we can't, our mind can't explore like that. So we've been dumbed down because we've been indoctrinated by Western culture that has no spirituality. That's somebody else's, none of that. Because we just totally disconnected. And if we blaming each other on our dysfunction, and I realize that our dysfunction is because of the culture, not because of. If you really tell me, if you think what you see today in a black man is the nature of a black man, then how can you go to Egypt and see the man bowing down to the woman? Seeing a man acknowledge the woman as being the first, and acknowledging the woman as being divine. You don't see that here. That ain't common here. All the religions in this country is male God. So it's obvious where as the Western man treats his woman, we follow suit.
Mm-hmm.
But we see that discernment, that ability that respond emotionally rather than to sit back and reflect. Let's look at the society. Like the people travel, they go to indigenous cultures and they travel. That's why any people that go to indigenous cultures travel. They don't talk that nonsense because they know it's only the people who talk like that who, when they travel, they went to Western countries where they saw more Western culture. They never went to a multitude of indigenous cultures and seen how things work. But there's no way you could conclude. I mean, I saw it. Everywhere where I saw a man sitting on the throne, I saw a woman. But the woman's face was blown off. Because the Western man despised the idea that a woman could be equal with a man. That's where this shit started from.
Mm.
Let's tell the truth. Men seeing women as a possession. We just started. That's what we've been at. You can't blame somebody because they've been bombarded, indoctrinated, and it ain't like everybody had the choice to go back home because you got to have passports. They could stop you from expatriating. Everybody can't expatriate because then they be losing their slaves. They ain't trying to let everybody go.
Yeah, you're
So
right
that's what they
about
call.
that. And not only that, let me just
That's
but
what they
and
call.
I just want to say this. But have you find it ironic out of every ethnic race in this world, the black man, women, they cannot travel outside these borders without showing identification. But a man that's European descent can go back home without a passport. The Chinaman can go back, but even the Arab man. But when it comes to black man, he needs identification and papers to go anywhere across the world, especially go back home to Africa. You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed to me that
They won't.
they. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, they want to follow this country. They govern it.
Yeah.
They created all and all the policies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They did. They did. And and really, I think it's more to just regulate the movement, but to really to limit the options. You know what I'm saying? For black man, black woman to really take. You know what I'm saying? Because really, truly, nowhere across the world where you're not gonna find a black face. Can we agree, Terrance? Because remember, when their explorers start to circumvent the world to try to find others like themselves, they only see jet black, either dark or brown skin black man and woman, either with coarse hair or fine hair or something like that. You ever know that?
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere in the world where you find, besides maybe somewhere in Europe or potentially somewhere upper in Russia, wherever area, in your area, in the East Asia area, that you will not find anything that represents them, but mostly us. So, like I said, they had to sit there and say, we had to control them, we had to indoctrinate them, so to let them know that we are disappearing gods.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna let you continue.
Yeah, yeah. Based on that, what you were saying, they think about all these holistic healers that were demised. So you live in a society that wants you to be sick, that prey on you. That's the same. That's the same society that indoctrinated us into using all these pharmaceuticals, going to the hospital as our first instead of a holistic healer, going to the hospital to have a baby rather than going to a doula. That's indoctrination, and it comes in many forms. Those are only a few. So if somebody was indoctrinated, not just one generation, not just two, but a multitude of consecutive generations with no breakage and gaps in between, from slavery to sharecropping, to Jim Crow, from segregation. That's when we start gaining power. They had to break that up, got to integrate it. That's when the indoctrination came tenfold. They started giving away education for free. For free. They started giving women credit cards. They weren't giving the men, but they gave women the credit cards. But they wanted to bring them into a habit of consuming, of purchasing. So here's some money up front. You ain't even got to pay it back. All right, take your credit card. So you can go on shopping spree. Because that was a way of programming. And they've done both of us like that in different ways. So if a man sits here talking about women this and women that, he out of his damn man. If a woman say a man this and a man that, she out of her man. We both drink the same Kool-Aid. And we don't have no, we ain't figured out the antidote. You will never hear me talking about black women this and black men. I know why we like we are. I've seen examples. I've read too much culture. All this spiritual science around the world. You take the highest forms of spirituality, dealing with the divination, righteousness, the soul, all these attributes that define characteristics of that which is divine. They came from us. So that's our nature. So you're gonna evaluate us in this country where indigenous divination systems didn't come into 1974 in South Carolina, Olatunji in South Carolina. The first time Ifa made his presence known in the United States, North America. So from 1974 to now, and then you go back from the time we've been indoctrinated with Christianity. You telling me it's a no-brainer. Because the man was indoctrinated with the fact that the man runs the household. That came out the Bible. God being a man, the woman comes from man rear. Well, that puts woman in a subservient position just from the indoctrination. So every pastor in every church sees it that way. And the Christian church was pretty much the backbone of who we were. Now, this generation of children, they don't really go to the church anymore. But and even all the religions, the Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Islam, Buddhism, all these religions, the Godhead is a male. And people don't understand if you go into the highest symbol of measure, which is the Godhood, that is the highest symbol of measure. And it's a male. Then automatically the man gonna have a certain mindset. But that don't make that to him that's his nature. Because if he was in the spiritual system that shows that the woman was the Godhead, then you couldn't say that. But now it ain't the man. It's the dynamic of the teaching that was instilled in him. And the things around him, the society. Hey, it was the Western man who didn't allow his woman to vote not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long ago. So she was a second class citizen.
Indeed.
So we had to understand history. You had to You had to understand history. You had to spend time around elders. I've been spending time around elders. When I was in my 20s, I had people in their 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, and 30s grooming me. Always. Always. But you got these last few generations, they ain't got no mentors. So their whole mental construct has been molded by the decadent society. And it is decadent.
A Jesuit?
Society that,
What you say? What you call it? What's it called again?
decadent.
Oh, decadent. Okay.
I mean, think about it. You're trying to, you're injecting people with all these vaccines, all these biological manipulation that takes place, all this poor food quality, and then this poor advice. Oh, yes, these are four food fractions. You know, you have to the food pyramid. You need your dairy, you need your meat, you need your poultry, you need your bread and grains. All that garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And we wonder why something wrong with us. First, they manipulate you spiritually, mentally, and then nutritionally. So we expect to be whole after all of that. I think it's unrealistic to even place their expectations on anybody. Considering their condition. Okay, and it's like black man ain't this and that. How much revolutionary stuff we did when we lost our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Doing like Ice Cube got turned down, so they were trying to purchase 10 cable stations. Them the kind of move we made. We built it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, Jay-Z, what's the man from Master P, when all of them was coming together.
What about Jay Prince?
Yeah, Jay Prince, him too, yeah. When all of them came together to do a conglomerate, create a conglomerate company, why was the FBI there to break it up? Every time we try, see, when we do stuff revolutionary. And what happens is, people don't understand psychologically. Like back during the chattel slavery era, when the slaves would try to run, that they would castrate the slave in front of the mother. So that means that the mother will hold back the child's tendency to be revolutionary just to protect him. Because she knew that if he got caught, what the verdict was going to be. Okay? So now, even today, I mean, like, not saying Bill Cosby did not endure any of those accusations, but it never was about them. That ain't why they bothered him. If you talk about buying EBC, okay, maybe you trying to get people. That's a power move. Michael Jackson owning the Masters, the Kellogg. That's a power. Every time we make power moves, what happens? So they're telling you what they fear.
I'm on the middle of something. I have to call you back. Yeah, sorry about that.
And I think what happens, is, you know, the discouragement is created when people constantly try to take on revolutionary tasks and they encounter.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And I think what happens is transformation. For some people, they're just born into it. They don't care what the outcome is. They're going to do it. Just like in South Africa, everybody let be known. They're going to get their land back. And if anybody come messing with them, we going to the end. We're going to the limit with it. No fear. If death, if the outcome, then so be it. The people fear people like that. So that you know what? Since we have ancestors, and a lot of us gonna be ancestors, you're gonna come back. So death really is not the final end.
And Terrance, I don't want to interrupt for a second. And this is one of the weakness we fail as people to understand about this concept of life and death. And normally the fault with this, but you know, it's not really too far ourselves because we don't really understand, because when you're indoctrinated into this Western culture, mindset, and with the religion, they keep presenting that death is the end, the be all, and put a sense instill fear constantly on not only women, but is also put on the children that become adults as well. And I'm saying death is just one stage of a continuous cycle, of a never-ending cycle. You think about it, and a lot of us we miss that, and really don't conceptualize that. You know, that's one of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And this understanding, the psychological programming, and that's why, like I said, the number one way they feel as though they can control it is through health. All these vaccines and these flus and these diseases. So, hey, if you're a revolutionary, you ain't got much of a chance if you ain't healthy. You can't be sick. You can't be sick being a damn revolutionary. And then got to go to their hospital of all places. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. And we see a lot of our people that were scholars that died. Where in the hospital, isn't it? Last time I checked.
Yep. Yep.
And a lot of them didn't have to die from the hospital, really, to think about it. Because we don't have really
even nothing.
Yeah.
Like I said that, our culture has some different facets to it, so many aspects to it. A lot of the people elders now, they only align themselves to certain aspects. And health was not one of them. They know about all the African history, they know about African culture, but they don't know about health. They don't have an indigenous guidelines to health and well-being. Look at the way they go out, like Asa Hilliard, he was too young, Robert Dick Brothers from Chicago, just Dr. Ben, the way he went.
Well, but Amos Wilson, he died pretty young. He died like 53.
Yeah. None of the people take care of themselves. It's like we don't understand that if we indoctrinated. If you know how many black people still eating chitlins and pork. Let's look at the dynamics in the nature of their food. It was the scrap. So that's like a food you would feed a peasant. So that means that your food, what they say that the way to a man's mind is through his stomach. They say, if a woman is a good cook, you got his mind if you can cook good for him. So that means that the food is attached to their mental plane, to their emotional plane. So we connect with food, like the remember that little series they used to come on, Soul Food, they used to meet at mama's house. So what they was eating.
Yeah.
And all that. That's slave food. And what craves the food? The mental and emotional. So that means mentally and emotionally, we still are slaves because we're still eating the same food as slaves.
But you know, Terrance, when you talk about the slave food, you're actually pinching and you stepping on toes of Mama, Big Mama.
Gotta be said. The truth gotta be told. No disrespect, Grandma.
But you know, funny thing with that is they didn't say Grandma lost her legs and through the same diet, and feel they're comfortable with how she go out was an act of God. But now saying no, it's the food really. Yeah.
And I got a book called The Metaphysics of Raw Food. It talks about why do people crave things that they've been educated on that they know do them harm, so they're still gonna eat it, or they know it. If you mention it to them, like you discussed on this vision group, I mentioned to her about she was carrying a baby, she was eating soy. And I said something to her about it. She cussed me out timely. Then the baby was born, and she was breastfeeding the baby, eating that stuff. I had to say something. Boy, she gave it to me. She gave it to me good. And after that, I'm like, I'm done. Took me out twice. We ain't got to worry about strike people. But it's that deep. That food is embedded in our psyche. That's how you know about psyche. That would probably be the best example of psychological trauma and programming. If that food means so much even to the damn death. I don't give a damn if I die. I'm gonna still eat this food. That's what this food means that much to me. The food is dead. It's in earth. It ain't even living. You
Mm-hmm.
fried it, cooked it, you butter on it, and everything else. It's garbage. But that garbage means more to us. So that ain't no psychological program. So I don't know how in the world we can sit here and think that we ourselves. And we think that when you look at a man and you look at a woman, that's the nature of what a man is. Wait a minute. But that man that you say is a man is a template and an archetype of a man. But then the people in indigenous culture are light years beyond him. So this could be who we are. But it's the fact that this society has gave us such an impression that what you see in the current era of a man and a woman is ridiculous. I hear people, oh, men this, and women this, and men this. I'm like, do y'all understand the conditions upon which you evaluate people?
Mm-hmm.
It's different. And it's going to take a couple of generations after this to get it. These generations, they ain't got, they gone. You know, a
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine wrote this record, it's called No Way Back. Too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of us are at. We too far gone. That's why most people who I talk about wild indigenous activity too, it's usually the younger generation, people in their 20s.
That's trying to look for answers, really. Like, and one thing, since you mentioned,
Yeah.
is the younger people that's. I remember one time I'm not sure you still working with this young woman that was in her mid 20s. Um, isn't it ironic that most people that's a millennial or now Generation Z's are the ones that start to look back more than ever now? You ever notice that? And I wonder if it's the really change of the times, or it's just something biological that's coming forth through the spirits of the
Well,
certain particular answers that's
yeah,
come back.
yeah, it's manifesting through the biological. See, these are the millennium children. They look when they was born. They were born in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Now they in their 20s.
Mm-hmm. And going in their 30s now, because we're not having a decade.
Yeah,
Some are going to start touching 30s
right.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, remember, we had a discussion about like the ages. You know, we talk about this is the age of Pisces. Now, people, the age of Aquarius, now they throw those terms around loosely, but don't understand what they are. You see, Egypt gave you probably the most pinpointed example that you would ever see anywhere written, and that is that the pharaoh's name, like Amun is first, Amun is second. You had this long lineage of pharaohs by the name Amun. Well, Amun was a constellation that we know now as Aries. It's like Mentu. The set pyramid in Egypt, they ain't let nobody in since 1981. They don't want to reveal the contents inside, like the battery, the two wires connected to a light bulb, the 0 through 9 alphabet that we thought was a European alphabet. I mean, numerical
Mm.
system, and it's really hard. And that the pharaoh himself, Mentu Hotep, was blue black, like a pair of black shoes. He's that black.
Mm.
They don't want to bite in the temple. But during that age, all the pharaohs had the name Mentu, which is the age of Taurus. And it was a different consciousness. And you can look on the walls of whatever's remaining during each of them ages, and you can see the inscriptions of what they expounded upon was a reflection of the consciousness of that age.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like how Pisces, you know, each sign has like a one word cliche. Like Aries, the first sign is I am. Taurus is I have or I possess. Okay. And then Gemini is analyze. I mean, not analyze. Vegetarian is I perceive. Uh, Gemini. No, Gemini is I think. That's
Okay.
why Gemini could be so opinionated. And then Cancer is I feel. And then, of course, following Cancer is Leo. I will. And after that is Virgo, I analyze. Then after that, Libra is I balance. Scorpio is I transform.
Mm-hmm.
Go back Pluto and Uranus. Sagittarius is I perceive, and Aquarius is I know, and Pisces is I believe. So we in the age of belief. Because what is religion based on? Belief.
Believe.
And look how people talk. People ask me, give me your opinion, give me your perspective. They don't ask for the fundamental substance or something. They want to know what I think. They don't know. They don't want to know what it is in essence, the way they act it. They're only interested in my perception of it. But as we come into the age of Aquarius, people ain't gonna talk like that. They're gonna expound like, give me the understanding, give me the substance, give me the inner working. That's how people gonna talk.
Mm-hmm.
Then belief. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
religion is based on belief. We get Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, you know, Buddha. That's belief.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these different Jesus came to bring their message.
Mm-hmm.
That's a belief system. That you believe on things that you don't understand. But then the things that happen during each age, so that as we get closer to the age of Aquarius, because most people think we are there, and we're not.
And we're not. And you're right. And I remember my other friend, Mr. Quasi Ra, said it that we're nowhere close to the age of Aquarius. We're still in
No,
what we call, and what it called was it? We're still the stage of what? Belief, right? Pisces, right?
right.
Yeah.
But see, if you look at the transformation, like a lot of people more so than ever are studying divination systems, not just in North America, but you know, Candomblé and Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
Santeria, Palo, you know, Ifa, Bodum, and it's growing more than ever. And divination is not a belief system. It's a system of self-realization.
Mm-hmm.
So that's dealing with knowing, not believing. So
Oh.
you can tell how close we are to the age of Pisces by the consciousness, not as a majority, but the consciousness is growing and increasing over time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, first of all, if we look at the way consciousness manifests itself, it's like everything else in this world. Everything moves in peaks and valleys. Light waves, heat waves, frequency waves, electromagnetic waves, sound waves, and thought is waves. Everything has peaks and valleys. So when you reach the peak, there's no way to go but down. When you hit the bottom of the valley, there's no way to go but up. So we're gonna hit the bottom of this demonstration. That's where we at right now. That's why things are ascending. Sustainability, vegan things, even though the traditional vegan is garbage, the original vegan is based on Hippocrates, Hippocrates rather.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real vegan. And I was bashing vegan on some vegan site. Somebody hit me up in the inbox and we started conversing. It was like that's a watered down vegan. You don't fry no food, have poor food combining, you know, eating all this starch and all that soy. That's not no real vegan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a commercialized vegan to keep people sick. The vegans ain't healthy. And people be talking about them. They be confronting me. I'm like, I don't consider, I don't align, I don't relate to that vegan thing. They just automatically assume because I don't eat meat. I'm like, first of all, being healthy is one thing. Not eating meat is another. Meat ain't the only thing that causes imbalances in the body. Reaching a state of homeostasis means that you eliminate any and everything that can cause obstructions and imbalances in the body. That's not restricted to just meat.
Mm-hmm.
And then they psychologically people are not interested in giving up meat anyway. Because you want a veggie burger, you want a veggie enchilada, you want a veggie taco, you want a veggie pizza. You're still in the mind frame of eating meat.
Yeah. You're right.
You take jackfruit. Since when did people start frying fruit, putting batter on it, and it's doing the same thing with oyster mushroom? No, no, doing the same thing to oyster mushroom so it can resemble chicken nuggets. So you mentally, psychologically, you still in the mindset of eating meat.
Yeah.
That's how you know the vegan thing is like wacko.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. Yes, yes. Now, moving forward, I'm on the what it called Indigenous Seeds site right now, and I'm looking for. And it's too bad you can't see from my screen, Terrance, because I'm on YouTube. But as I'm looking through the pictures of the variety of foods and the seeds, this is, and mind you, people, what you're witnessing and seeing out is the Indigenous Seed Initiative, and where you could probably purchase your seeds, your wild indigenous seeds. We start off with there's two booklets. One is transitional to optional help. What's in that booklet, Terrance?
The green one or the yellow one?
This one says transition to optional help, and this is the $8 book, and the other one on the right side is transition to optional help, the official book.
Right. That's the one that deals with the basics of transitioning to optimal health. And then the wild and indigenous foods one deals with what optimal health is, which is partaking in wild and indigenous foods.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And in this book, and people could purchase it, get the PDF, and if people buy it, you will get the physical copy very soon once Terrance, completes. And that in this book, what you're seeing here is the whole entire overview, and it's constantly upgrade, my people. It has pictures of the foods and in depth of genetics and how food affects your genetics. So this is not like a regular PDF slash actual book. This is like a full history and the first time in its existence, what food really looks like. Am I right, Terrance Miller?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, you could purchase this on his website, on one of his websites. And I scroll that as people come and tune in for the first time. As you can see, this is the real corn, the black Aztec blue corn, as you can see. Bok cha. I think that's like a vegetable, not an onion. I don't know if I ever had bok cha
Yeah,
before.
that's a Chinese, but it's from the same family as the brassica, the same family as cabbage, mustard, turnip.
Okay. Okay.
Those came.
All right. And we have like the watercress. And you just said watercress and arugula are the only vegetables right now that people could eat a little bit more for now. You know what I'm saying?
No. I said those two are the only ones from the brassica family.
Okay.
That's the cabbage family. Because I mentioned that because basically all of the greens outside of the dandelion greens that you may find, periodically in certain stores, but more so like the kohlrabi,
Mm-hmm.
Brussels sprout, turnip, mustard, powdered kale. All of those come from the brassica family, and them pretty much the greens that's in the store. We don't have no summer greens. Those greens are for the fall and the spring. So I mentioned that the watercress and the arugula are from that same family. Most
Okay.
people don't know it though, but people don't really go around studying botany and taxonomy. So they can't look at the nomenclature. They call it the botanical nomenclature, what taxonomy is. So it's like a first and last name, just like the first name is the genus, the last name is the species. So you can look at the name assigned to the plant and know. That's why I came to understand with the nation talking about the Navy being so different. No, it ain't, because it's of the same genus and the same species that the rest of them is. So they're genetically the same. They only differ in appearance, but their texture, their chemical composition is virtually exactly the same. The only genes that differ are those that determine its size, its shape, and its color. That's it.
Okay.
So ain't nobody telling me no navy bean is different than a black bean, a pinto bean, a lima bean, country crap.
Mm.
And all the people that try to that's part of that group they profess this because the quote unquote messenger said it was the real deal. They don't know nothing about no botany. If somebody did research, now first of all, I said, do you know that legumes are ecological plants? They were not meant to be food. Each plant has a spiritual nomenclature. I mean, it's here to serve a certain purpose. Everything can't be for food. You got plants that serve various purposes. And legumes are the fixators of nitrogen. They take nitrogen out the atmosphere and place it in the soil. That's why George Washington Carver, when they had a boll weevil epidemic, the boll weevil is that parasitic insect that devours cotton grown in poor soil that lacks nitrogen. So Carver planted a peanut. Well, the peanut is a legume. The peanut takes nitrogen from the atmosphere and places it into the root of the plant, which releases into the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up. So those plants are far too high in nitrogen to be consumed. They're ecological plants. Everything wasn't made to be food. You got plants for medicine. You got plants for food. You got plants for rope, string, dye, cosmetics, plants for different type of oil, cosmetic oils, for lubricants, for adhesives, glue. You got plants to make textiles, for fabric, like linen, like silk, like cotton,
Mm-hmm.
like connect. You got to explore the plant kingdom. You can't just, and you'll see you got plants that are here to form symbiotic relationships where certain insects that live just and associate with certain trees, certain plants.
Mm-hmm.
Plants have vast purposes. I mean, they serve so many different purposes. But once again, we got that Western indoctrination. Because even indigenous culture, they know what plants do. They know the spiritual connection with trees and certain plants. They'll tell you the nutritional significance, not so much in vitamins and minerals, but in spiritual. You know, how the food would help nourish spiritual aspects of us.
Mm-hmm.
But this culture just don't, you know, and it's like all the things that we had a close path to are the things we had the least knowledge of.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about indigenous culture, you know, this is the first time in our existence that we never fed, clothed, housed, educated ourselves, provided our own water.
Mm-hmm.
All these years we've been on this earth, it's the first time. And people think that's the norm. That you're supposed to go to a grocery store, allow food to travel 1,800 miles, then the food is hybrid. It was not grown under the proper, efficient store conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And then the soil that it was grown in, they don't understand how to liberate the nutrients and make them available to plants. So now so much stuff is depleted. They think this is the most progressive society. Still trying to figure out how. Jagged society. This is the most jagged society ever. Because I tell people, one girl told me, she's like, you're just too extreme. You know, people can be happy living in the city. I'm like, that's a false sense of happiness. First of all, if you're really in a spiritual alignment, how could you be happy living in a society knowing that every aspect of that society is a detriment and harm to nature? When indigenous people, they had the highest reverence for nature. They wouldn't do things to deplete or to demise or compromise activities in nature. They
Mm-hmm.
ask permission. They ask permission before they use something. Since they ask permission here, we start digging and laying pipes and electricity lines and cutting down trees for poles and dumping toxic waste from these chemical factories into the water, dumping them on landfills.
Even putting towers, like high
Right.
frequency radiation towers
Yeah.
for internet and all them stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they talking about 5G and then all these on landfills. I'm like, every aspect of this culture is toxic. So if somebody is happy with this, they are definitely unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're unconscious, the first The first thing that we became aware of as indigenous people was nature. Wasn't no factories around, wasn't no tall, but none of that crap was around. All we had was things that nature created. Everything had purity to it. We had a certain connection with animals, with plants, with certain insects.
Yep.
We asked permission. Even when people got to the point where they started consuming flesh, they would pray up to the spirit of the animal before they ate it. Did they do that now? They slaughter them cows, slaughter them pigs, and chickens.
Yo, you see how the way they killed especially the cows and animals. They fear before they reach to meet their maker, man. They came in constant fear. It's like what they call it the revenge of the animal. The spirit haunts you,
Oh
and
yeah.
it goes into your system and punish you. You know, yeah. But moving forward, I'm still looking at these pictures, and I gotta say one thing, Terrance. I never told you before. When I came across this site, I was looking at heaven to see the variety of food, vegetables, and fruit that I never seen in existence. Look at the colors. It's just a workout. It's just like they're beautiful. I'm, I'm seeing here cucumbers, different colors of cucumbers. I see a red cucumber. And I know cucumbers could be red in existence. I mean, a lemon cucumber. And I'm not sure it tastes like lemon or that's just the name they call it, Terrance. But, you know.
No, it appeared to be look like a lemon.
Okay, okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Because you can get full sometimes with food. Yeah. Yeah, so let me go down. Also, we have spinach, rise of spinach. And we have spinach strawberry. Now this one's that I just noticed. Give me the strawberry. You pick the strawberry and the piece of spinach leaf, or you eat the spinach.
No, you eat both.
Oh, you eat both. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. And this is found in South America.
No, that's it's indigenous to Europe.
Oh, okay. I get you. All right. We got here. I think it's I think it's Magita Spring, Lamb's Quarter.
Yeah, magenta spring. Yeah.
Okay. And we have red orcho. I'm not sure what that
Red
is.
or
I never had that.
That's in the same family as the spinach, strawberry spinach. It's called the Chinopanaceae family.
Okay. Okay, and we got mustard greens.
The orchids in that same family. The orchids in that family too. Amaranth or callaloo, that family.
Yep. In the West Indies, yeah, I'm familiar with color. All right, let me go down. We got kale.
To another link.
Oh, you sent me another link? All right, give me a second. Let me stop. Share.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to tell you that the link I just sent you, it has like the full listing of not what we offer to sell seeds, but the seeds we have collected that we have to grow. And once we grow them, we can repopulate the seeds and then sell them. And that list is trial more than it's 193 listings on the new link and only 108 on the one you listen at. So that's almost an additional 100 more plants. That's wild and big.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Okay, okay. Let me see. Did I stop sharing? Let me check. Yeah, okay. My screen stopped sharing. Give me a second, people. I'm just gonna look through my message again. Oh, I see more. Okay, let me click onto this. And as I'm talking, if everybody, and I know, Miss Christina Williams, thank you for watching and support and sharing this video, Christine. I love you. You know what I'm saying? This is very helpful because sometimes during the days, when we talk about some serious information, it does not really get talked about. We don't have these discussions. You know what I'm saying? And these should be more conversations we have as we talk about reorganizing, rebuilding a nation. We need to cover the few things that what sustains a whole nation: food, clothing, and shelter. Now, one of the things we don't do more as people enough is we don't cover the food no more. And that's one result why we fall under so much dis-ease. that it's no joke. So let me share my screen one more time. I found it so that everybody knew. Give me a second, people. All right. All right, good. All right, here it is. And here there's more. There's pot shot. All right, these are other pictures. Okay. Oh, these are more depth pictures. Well, more synchronized. And they give you the families of each food, right? From the kale is this family and that. From what I'm looking right now.
Right. I mean, yeah, the family you'll see in parentheses or next to the actual plant name.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and mind you, people, it is spring, and we're going to soon reach summer. So if y'all ladies that are like to garden, oh wait, I have a message. Those colors are breathtaking, beautiful. Fat warriors must have good health. Yes, that's right, Christian Williams. At least one person likes it. She likes the colors, because women love colors. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people don't know the importance of eating food that has a variety of colors and what the colors do to the body. Isn't it a fact, Terrance, that certain colors of food that we eat hit certain parts of the body, of the chakras?
Yeah, well, they represent certain aromatic amino, certain frequency fields. Like each color has a certain frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Stars. You got stars that are yellow, orange. You got stars that reflect all of those colors.
Mm-hmm.
The weird dwarf, purple stars, like the planet Neptune is purple.
Okay. Let's
And then
see.
Mars is red.
Okay. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, they got here sorrow. I thought sorrow was red. I see a green sorrow.
Oh,
Sorrel.
that's a I know that's hibiscus soil.
Okay.
That's in the hibiscus family, along with cannabis and okra. But the the green sorrel is in the dock family,
Okay.
the same family as yellow dock.
Okay.
That's the green sorrel.
Mm-hmm. And I see pictures of onion, and they're very small, as I could tell.
Yeah, the Texas wild onions, that is harvest a lot of them. The Egyptian walking onion, they put the onions at
Mm-hmm.
the top. That's how the original onions work. The buds produce the top, not in the ground.
Mm-hmm. And
Because the onions under the ground had too much sulfur. The ones above had low levels. The sulfur is necessary
okay.
only on low levels. So.
Low levels. Okay, sulfur. Okay, I get you. I see watercress again. Some strawberries, corn salad, vegetable, which I know corn could be a salad. Winter parcel, wintercress going down. Oyster leaf, beautiful. Garden cress, lettuce. Mmm. Okay. And I could eat these. I could pick it. And I could eat it, or I have to wash it. Most likely. I know it's a weird question.
No, I don't watch the ball.
Yeah. Because like me, one time I remember there was a berry tree where I was at, and usually when they like ready, when they turn dark, I don't pick the tree, just eat it right there. And one young woman was surprised and shocked, said, aren't you afraid? I said, afraid what? These berries, said, they're good for you. Just pick, eat it. I said, I said, no. And she was so drawn and afraid because she felt that they might be poisonous or, or if it doesn't come from a supermarket. You get me? That's the conditioning. That's how bad the conditioning when we can't even pick a natural fruit if it hit us in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mind you, let me rephrase. Not every fruit that we should pick that's out there in nature. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta be cautious now. Okay, you can get sick if you pick the wrong fruit now. you know. Right, Terrance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, certain fruits in nature is only designed for the insects and birds, We got
There's
here.
a lot of food that we share. Uh, like bats, they like food, but see, it's a two-way relationship. Bats not only like it because it's good for them, but bats is an instrument to allow plants to expand. That's how plants grow all over the place. That's like a coconut. A coconut got about a 2 to 3 month lifespan where in the ocean. And it will flow from one island to another. And then you know that the real coconuts you eat are not the ones that they grow inland, they're the ones that they select. The real ones are the ones that they wash up on shore and they grew right off the shore because that's where the water during the high tide has pushed the coconut, which really a seed.
Mm-hmm.
And the coconut trees do that. So if I go to an island, I'm only interested in eating the coconuts right off the shore because I know they're the real deal. That's why a
Yeah.
lot of these wild plants have a tolerance to a lot of salt because
Mm-hmm.
they like the Galapagos tomatoes, the wild pear tomato, yellow, which we have, the wild cherry tomato, which we have. The only places that can be found actually is the Galapagos Islands where you find them giant turtles. It's the only place where you can find them turtles at. They drift off somewhere and they come back every year to make them eggs. Cover them up and they bounce.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I'm looking at some peppers, and hold on. What's one thing that Doctor Say said about pimento? I forgot what it was. He said something about pimento. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. It was documentary. It was video he said one time.
Pimento, like salt pimento,
Yeah, I think that's one.
that's an herb for the prostate. But if you're talking about pimento is a variety of peppers. Like it's a hot pepper, real hot.
Oh, okay. For people who have swollen prostate, irregular. Okay, I get you. Yeah. I see here a carbon red pimento, very small, look like very fiery peppers.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I was
Hot
wondering,
pepper.
and let me ask
Small
you.
like that.
Okay, go ahead. No,
I
you're
was
saying.
just saying that when they small peppers like that, they always hot.
Hey, Terrance, let me ask you a question. You ever grew and tried this experiment with these peppers? I'm not sure if we normally should be doing this, but have you ever took a tequila sunrise, a camoya, a yimis, a chilaquil, red antigua, and a red pimento, and cut them up and grind them together to make like a what we call it, something like a you squeeze in food.
I couldn't if I wanted to because I can't eat hot peppers. Me and hot peppers don't get along. That's
Damn.
why I never in my life ate hot sauce.
Oh.
Don't eat no
Oh.
hot sauce. No
Yeah.
hot pepper, none of that.
Yeah.
I don't use the black pepper, I know hot pepper.
Never hot pepper. Yeah, you're not used to that shit.
I went to the Nigerian restaurant on the north side of Chicago. This brother was half Nigerian. They ate some peppy soup. Man, that stuff was so hot. I thought my insides was coming out. I had every time I took a quarter of a teaspoon of it, I had to drink water behind it. Because you're not getting nowhere with it.
Wow. Damn. I need to try that for real. I'm not. I'm not afraid of pepper. Try something like that for real. Hear this? What is this? Oh, it's a squash. Okay, let's go down. A variety of squash. Okay, and then we have tomatoes. A variety of tomatoes. Beautiful tomatoes. And here's my favorite: watermelon. We have the white wonder, Congo, hippie red, mayo, mayo sadia. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Akuma, Yemen, Rio Mayo, and Santa Domingo, hippie yellow. I never had a yellow watermelon. Now that I think about it, oh, but it looks good. Yeah, and then
That
here,
yellow meat is a bomb.
yeah, shit. I got probably if I
Oh,
find a store. You go ahead. Yeah, I gotta find a store that sells
oh
that.
yeah.
I gotta find a store that sells. Is there a pattern for planting? Somebody asked the question on the chat room.
pattern.
for
Well,
planting.
I mean, well, the pattern is based on your personal visualization. The pattern that I saw, it came to me for the last couple of years from the very first image I saw. I went to a Steve Cokey lecture in Chicago in '89. He talked about how, you know, our inability to govern ourselves, that we don't grow our own food, we don't make our own clothes, you know, and we don't produce our own electricity. And it triggered something. So I went to this used bookstore the very next day in 1990. And there's one book I picked up on gardening, and it was showing what they call intensive planting, where you maximize the spacing of plants, putting plants close together, but not too close where they crowd each other. The desk is up. And it's shaped like the number five. You know how you have a deck of cards?
Mm-hmm.
You have like a five of clubs. And you got the two clubs at the top, one in the middle, and the two. That 2-1-2-1-2-1 format is a matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I plant. So you see the pictures that I posted, that everything looks close together, but it's not too crowded, but it maximizes the most efficient spacing you can use. So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to like patterns of planting, you want to select something visually that you kind of resonate with, that allows you to maximize a lot of yield in a very small space. Because I know people who maximize spacing in the backyard, and I
Mm-hmm.
imagine they filled up 2 whole deep freezers to get their little backyard. I was like, wow. My mentor, matter of fact, he used to farm.
Mm.
That's why I said something about Leo men and farming. They go hand in hand. I'm not a Leo, but I got a Leo rising. I guess that would apply to me too. I've run across more men that farm that was Leo than anything else.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. That's real
The guy
good.
who taught me how to operate equipment in Mississippi, he's a Leo.
Mm. Interesting. Interesting. I know that. Yeah. But you know, see, one people forgot about mentors, and my thing with mentors is if they get you at a certain stage in your development, mostly if you're almost an adult or young adult, is somewhat better. I mean, because you know, and my other friend has issues with mentors, but this is my thing with the black community today. You need some form of mentors now because a lot of these boys are not grown up with their fathers, you know, so they need some type of guidance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's why and right now I'm sending out the Hangout links if you want to ask their questions. Um, let me think. Oh, she said thank you because she I guess Christina, are you like to plant like flowers or anything? Have you ever plant food before, Christina Williams? Simmons get let her know. Wait for a response.
That's Christina Williams' Bay.
It don't say Bay. I don't think so. Normally,
Yeah, I know Christina Williams.
well, you know, who knows nowadays? Because you know, some people that subscribe to my channel, they could be bays. I could be wrong. You know, so you know, anything is possible. Oh, she says my grandmother was a Leo, and she really had a great. I mean, she had a green thumb living in an apartment. Look, it took me away from me. I think I read it right. Let me read it again. Make sure.
That's the Christina Williams I know. She's a Leo too.
Yeah, she said she had a green thumb and living in an apartment that took me away from me. Okay. Who's that knowing my name? Banks. Um well, he didn't say Banks, Christina. He said Bay. Like around Bay. That's what he mean.
BABEY.
Yeah, BEY. That's what Terrance means. Bay. BEY. Not really Banks. Anyway. But as the invite. Oh, she said sorry. It's cool. All right. So let me go down. And as y'all can see, there's culinary herbs like the real basil, the cumin, cilantro. These are things that you use for your food as well. Sage, thyme, chive, and I think it's called casabana. I don't know if that's a squash.
Banana.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what that is.
No, it's in the family too. It's in the whole other family. Like the
Okay.
that's the red one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oblong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the stevia leaves, the ones that people use to make tea. It's a sweet thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is the leaf really that sweet? Stevia, if I bite it.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. You know that. Okay. Red orchard, gojo berry. Yeah, I remember I had that. Aztec sweet herbs. Okay. And more squash and watermelon. And, it's a very long list, people. And like I said, at the end of this video, will drop all these links so y'all could purchase your seeds and the books. And now, let me stop. Oh, wait, one more thing. Oh, a horn cucumber. I know that was a cucumber. Horn cucumber. It's an orange with spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know I saw this in the store. I never ate that. I wonder if that's a fruit. I think that's fruit. Or cucumber.
None of this stuff you won't find in a store.
Oh, the store. Okay, something else then. I probably got full. Okay. Let me go down. And here's a purple tomato actually. Belize pink heart tomato. You know what I'm saying? Got some tomato, sweet. And what's this? A pink banana. Ooh, very small. Very tiny.
Real banana. Got seeds in it.
As more is so there's no such thing as a red banana. All right. All right. Now moving forward, and one more thing we're gonna probably talk about is let me see if I still have it. The products in regards to the people that want regiments. And what y'all see now is nature's compounds. Now, how long you been doing nature's compounds, Terrance, in regards to the healing journey with the herbs?
1994.
Okay, so we're now talking 25 years.
I started in like the 90s, but it wasn't official. I just met Sebby in 1990, and he had took me out to do some herb crack, wild crack. Ever since then, I started going out at my shovel, my mat, my bag, and I was able to identify like over 90 herbs in the wild that I picked, brought in the house, dried out. And I would mix certain things with people. They said they had certain ailments. And when I bought the book, they gave me the figurative visual of what the herbs look during different stages. I started actively eating with the herbs and good stuff. So maybe about first 2 or 3 people told me they had certain ailments and mixed certain herbs together. Really wasn't clear on the amount that I still mixing together. And I started getting results. And after like 5, 6, 7 people, I said, you know what, I'm on to something. And that's how I started. Then I started getting serious about it. Started going to workshops, started buying herb books, started really studying the principles because I know that whatever discipline I engage, I have to understand the fundamental building blocks. That's science. That's study. The only way you're gonna learn. Once you understand, if I want to understand chemistry, I want to understand atoms, polyatomic atoms, ionic, covalent, weak hydrogen bonds, valence, oxidation states. I mean, you're gonna learn the basic fundamentals. I don't care if it's geology, if it's physics, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry. It doesn't matter. Botany, soil science, same approach with everything. Everything in life has building blocks upon which it's built upon. The stars, the hydrogen is the basis of all stars. All stars, when they burn, They start off burning what they call nuclear fusion. They start off burning hydrogen. Then once all the hydrogen is exhausted, then comes helium. So the temperature and the rate in which it burns increases. And of course, at the end of the age of the star, it turns into what they call a supernova or neutron star. And a supernova is when it explodes. So all the energy and that star can get, all those minerals, they expanded. That's how parts of the galaxy were formed. So it's deep.
I see. I see. I see. Okay, good. 1 second, people. Let's do this. All right. What's this? Okay. All right. Now to the products that I was going to tell people that I was going to go by. We're going to start before we start, we're going to start with cell nutrition last, but let's go to the one. As you look on the right to left side, you see these programs. One is the diabetic program, which is the price on that. But in this regimen program, what did it really focus on, the diabetic program?
No, there's a manual, there's a free PDF that you can download for every program. And it goes into the whole fundamental breakdown of what diabetes is, what contributes to it, and how it can be transformed. Not cured, transformed.
Transform. And I like how you use the word transform, not cure, because a lot of people feel said, "Oh, I could be cured," and then go around, turn around, and do the same thing that got them the problem.
No, some more diabolical. You get a knock on your door like Fetty did with the FDA.
Oh, okay, I get you.
AMA, they got a patent on that word. It's copyright.
Cure?
That's the word McDonald's. Yeah.
What?
Patient, diagnose. That's how the healers was getting in trouble. It wasn't just that they was healing, because as far as they concerned, they use the words they own and you practicing medicine without life.
Interesting. I did not know that they patented these sick son of a bitches. And I know how to cuss. Sorry, people. I had to let it go. I hear some shit in my life, but this right here, nigga.
Insecurities make you want to control any and everything around.
And you know,
People do.
and it's more than control, but it shows a lack of taking out competition. Think about it. Because they have not produced nothing that's tangible. But it sure is going to keep running you to say, come take this pill. Keep taking this shot. Well, in the process, your kidney's going to be gone. All your organs going to stop functioning. And you're just going to dead right there on the spot. I remember even the book, I don't know if you read the book by Mr. Wintaker of called Medicine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's go down. Now, the estrogen tonic, is that for men and women?
Oh, anytime you get with estrogen, you talk about women. That's
Okay.
a female growth hormone. That's like the master hormone for the whole endocrine system.
I see. I see. It's supposed to. Cause I think with women they have too much estrogen. And is it when it?
Well, no. I mean, normally they do, but the estrogen tonic is for women to use during menopause when your body has exhausted.
Okay.
A lot of it. And as the estrogen helps bones keep their rigidity.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of women have, particularly European women, have popular osteoporosis, because estrogen also helps the body utilize calcium or the bone. So
Okay.
estrogen is definitely key.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Next product, immune enhancer. You heard me? I'm Terrance. This part we
Yeah, I heard
call immune enhancer. Is it supposed to enhance like the whole body's immune system, or is it like a cleansing type enhancer?
the body don't have an immune system.
Okay.
Each system has an immune function.
Okay.
Like the bone, okay, like you see the T cells that produce in the thymus gland. The thymus gland is part of the endocrine system. But then the bone, even though the B cells come from the bone, that's an immune function, but that's part of the skeletal system. And the interferon and the gamma globulin is produced in the liver. That's part of the digestive system. Okay. The the microphage and phagocytes are part of the lymphatic system.
Mm-hmm.
The Peyer's patches is an immune function that's produced in the small intestine. So it couldn't be an immune system because each each aspect of what they call the immune system is a part of another system. You can't have two systems in one. The body
Okay.
don't have, and the lymphatic is really not an immune system. It's more so the scavenger. It wipes away. It gets rid of the garbage and waste, things that that resulted from debris. That's why you have a microphage and a phagocyte. The word phago is key. Microphage and phagocyte. It devours. So, like in the book, talk about a Swiss study where they took a known toxin and placed it into the body, and they wanted to find out how many how many varieties of immune cells came to eradicate or address the toxin.
Mm-hmm.
So they recorded it. Then they gave a person some raw food. They noticed that it was not one increase of a white blood cell. Then they gave a person some cooked food. And they noticed that not only was it the same volume of white blood cells that came to the forefront as they did with the toxins, but the same variety. So the body saw the cooked food as a toxin. So every time we eat cooked food, white blood cells is manufactured. They put in work. But
Mm-hmm.
it's too many. That's why you have these autoimmune conditions, because we eating the more deep nature on these white cells to reproduce.
Say that again. You broke up. You broke up, Terrance. Say it one more time. Repeat what you said. You went low. Say it one more time.
I said the more denatured that the food you eat is, the more white blood cells your body will produce because it sees the cooked food as a toxin and threat to the body.
Interesting.
But if you ate live food, you go to the doctor, they tell you your white blood cell count is too low.
Wow.
You don't need them. They're scavengers. It's like when you eat some starch, oh boy, you eat some wheat or some spelt, man, them white blood cells gonna be higher than ever. That's why I have so much autoimmune, like the MS, like the lupus, come and go.
Wait, I remember. You know Trick Daddy, right? The artist named Trick Daddy. He has lupus. Yes.
No, we don't have to endure it.
And yeah, I know. And my one of my friends have lupus too. And I remember the conversation we had with this particular person, to what to do. And even to this day, she still hasn't really take on what you said. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with a lot of people, and not just our women are hard headed, but just our people just hard headed to really take look another way instead of dealing with the medical system. Like it's like you're gonna live and die from it.
Right. In metaphysically speaking, beyond hardware, that takes years. A lot of us ain't destined to live long life. But for somebody to be told, this right here, you continue to eat it, it's going to be your denial. And they still align themselves to the food. This is their way of saying that. He was not listening to the anyway.
That's true.
You can't move beyond that. I mean, what is it about this food? It ain't nutritional. It don't really taste good. You can think you've been programmed to think it tastes good. So think about it. All the people that eat that swine, like the guy who probably had a farm and farm equipment in Mississippi back about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Jackson. He stopped at a restaurant and said, "You want something?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." But he went in there and he came out. Like, what's that? He said it was a kid's ear sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Eating the ear of a kid. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
No way. Chitlins. When you eating the ham, you eating the pig's ass. I'm like, oh.
You know, when I first heard about that, about you eating the pig's booty, I never conceptualized it, but I always wonder when they cut the back side of it. I know that was the rear end of the pig. No joke. No, seriously. Come in there and say, wait, hold on. So how they got rid of the shit out the pig? It still got shit. Yeah, all right, yeah. Let's move on, man. Yeah.
But it's funny because the way the ham was always cooked. When I started studying herbs, I was studying cloves. How one of the main number one purposes of cloves is anti-parasitic. So I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. So I know that back in the day, people didn't use ordinary herbs to taste. Like back in the day, when they were using starchy beans, I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
Use this Mexican seasoning called episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It was around during that time. And you know what it did? It helped promote digestion. So they knew they was eating the food that was going to inhibit that digestion. So they put the seasoning in there to accelerate the digestion. Well, the reason why they put the cloves, the ham, wouldn't give it no taste, it was because if you take a piece of pork and put it out in the sun and put a magnifying glass on there and pour some Coca-Cola on there, you will see parasites and maggots come out of it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So when they put the cloves on the ham, it's to get rid of the parasites. It ain't for seasoning. It ain't for taste. I never heard nobody mention it before.
Yeah, I hear. Okay.
In the Pittman, oh my, and pig feet. And then
Yes.
all of these events.
Yeah.
And it was something, it was a pig head sitting on the shaker dish. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Them brains. I jerked. He said, what's wrong? I said, damn. My grandmother aunt used to prepare me brains and eggs. I had no that the hell idea that the cream was the pig brains.
Wow.
I told my mother in joking. I thought she said my grandmother aunt loved me.
Yeah.
Brains and eggs. Big brains. They would feed me. You talking about we in condition? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, this even me growing up, we all eat pig, swine. I mean, and I've made a conscious effort to cut that my diet. I've been slacking. Now it makes me fully determined to really get back at it hard and forever if need be, to be honest with you. And I don't really eat like the pig, like how we used to eat, like I don't, because I never grew up around chitlins and all that shit. No. So yeah. Anyway, let me go down. There's two types of products: inner temple cleanser and inner temple purification. Two different parts. The purification is the regimen, and the cleanser. I know they're both the same, but it look like they do different properties.
No, they both do the same thing. One does more of one thing than the other.
Okay. And I take it that
one has 2 weeks supply of liver flush, which means it cleanses the liver more, and the other one has kidney flush, and the other one doesn't.
Oh, okay. And is that something new? No, actually, you've been had that. I remember. You always had this on the website. The purification into purification.
Decades.
Okay, you had it for decades. All right. So let me go down. All right. And we have kidney flush and liver flush separate. I'm saying that focus specific for the kidneys, cleansing the kidneys. Liver, cleansing the liver. And we have liver purification, people. Mm. And that's a 2-week program.
Yeah, with our 10 days. But it does the first 7 days you cleansing, and the next 2 days it's a 9-day program. You basically are flushing about 2,000 to 2,500 gallstones out your gallbladder. And everybody has it. You ever eat fried food? You got a gallbladder. You got gallstones out of it.
Okay. Okay. I get you. Yeah. 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 I'm gonna take my cleanse very soon, Terrance, because I did get the product. I probably gonna take it very soon now because this is before the summertime, it's springtime, so I had to get back, try to get myself in shape or something. Okay, next product, male tonic. Now this one you said you had for a while and you brought back.
Yeah, I had it for a while. Then so many people started using Viagra. So, and that's what people were more familiar with. So, you
Hmm.
know, matter of fact, someone just bought one for the first time, I think, this whole year.
Oh wow.
People gonna go to the Cialis for the Viagra,
Hmm. But
And what people do, they buy the generic form, so they don't have to spend no money.
okay.
It's real inexpensive. $20 to give you a bottle of pill. Generic.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Is that well? Yours is $30, but yours is natural, so that's why it's a little bit more. And you know how black people do. So you go out to pay a little extra. Black people, you know what I'm saying? Not like you go to the store, you get the actual wholesale price. You know how they sell it, but it does damage to your body. And I think Cialis and Viagra makes you go blind. What else it does to the body? Those chemicals.
It is hard on your circulation because it intensifies the rate in which the heart pumps.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
why that basketball player Lamar Odom went into a coma. But he was at one of them in Nevada. They called it the legal whorehouse.
Hmm.
What do they call it? With a P or a B?
A bunny
No, a
ranch?
brothel. No, a brothel.
Oh, he went to a brothel. Okay.
Yeah. He had about 3 women there, so he had to give him some more octane energy. So he took some Viagra. Overdid it.
He said, "Well, I got 3 women to pleasure. I probably need some more things like this. Keep this bad boy up. After I bust a nut, it's gonna go down. So I need to take another one. Bust another nut.
He needed somebody to air mail him some damn some valerian, slow his heart rate down.
Shit. If you see one thing, men don't understand, Terrance. You can tell when you have a stage and sign of the heart disease, or your heart is failing a little bit, is when you can't get it up, fellas. You know what I'm saying? That should be a good
No, no,
indicator.
no,
Like,
no, that's more for the prostate.
oh, sorry. All right, thank you for correct. Oh, okay, excuse me. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
That's because the hormones in food.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
estrogen mimics the testosterone in men.
Hmm.
And with the testosterone, it increases the size of the prostate.
I see.
But it stops at a certain age. But if you keep on taking in estrogen foods, people start getting prostatitis.
Mm.
Then when they start using them genetically engineered growth hormones from the genetically engineered cows,
Hmm.
then it went from prostatitis to prostate cancer.
Wow.
Just like in women.
Hmm. Damn. Hear that? Wow, it's crazy. Next is natural or nature's antibiotic.
That's good for tumors, all rainforest all rainforest
Mm-hmm. Rainforest herbs. Okay. That's for more for tumors and all the other stuff, you know, in the body. Okay.
And it addresses the cancer cells in two ways. One, it has selenium, and the selenium enzyme break down tumors and cancer cells. And then it has a component that enters the cancerous cells and prevents the cancer from recycling phosphorus. That's how the body through the mitochondria and they call it the electron transport chain. That's how energy is liberated through phosphorus and water.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does, if you can inhibit the plant from recycling energy, it can reproduce.
Okay.
So those are the two ways that it eradicates tumors and cancer cells.
Okay. Okay. So it's like a natural chemotherapy, in other words.
No. Chemo attacks all the cells, good and bad.
Oh, damn! That's bad. It destroys.
It only focuses on the cancer cells only.
Wow, did not know that.
That's the psyche.
Damn. Y'all guys gotta stop taking that chemo, man. Destroys all your cells. Yeah.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
That's why people's hair should be falling out. And their complexion, their skin tone, their melanin changes.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. All right. Next is nature's antiviral.
Antiviral. It focuses on viruses. Same thing, because what viruses do, they get inside your cell, make a copy of your DNA with his. So when it's like when the two pairs of chromosomes pair up, it replaces one of the pairs with its own. That's the transcription. That's when the cell is thinking copying the virus. Then the virus goes in the cell, starts taking all the nutrition. And your cells don't get the nutrition. What it does, it inhibits that process.
I see. And people that got like gonorrhea, am I right?
For the people that have what?
Gonorrhea, herpes, those sexually STD type disease, and
yeah. All the viruses got the same nature. They use these single strand RNA, single strand DNA.
Okay.
They got the same characteristics. They do the same thing. They leech you on go inside the cell and start robbing it from food. And make the cell make a copy of it.
I see. And last and not least, cell nutrition.
That's a large key product. Of course, sea vegetation, green algae, red algae, and brown algae. The first food sources on the planet. Single strand DNA called a haploid. Grow on the shores, around the coastal areas of different countries, islands, continents. And it gets its minerals through the rock that it grows on and the seeds and the minerals inside the seed. All your iodines and your bromides and so forth. And then the other component of the nutrition is the land plant. Like the oldest land plant, 200 million years old, horsetail, still around to this day. Still around 200 million. You got chickweed, nettles, sorrel, what else? Two more. What else is it? Let me see. Look at my ingredients because I just upgraded this formula. Oh, watercress.
Okay.
And joaquin. Okay, and sheep soil. Yeah.
Mm.
And the 8 seaweeds. And those pretty much comprise of all the minerals. We need 64 minerals because we got 64 codons. The codons are genetic codes that that govern the functions of hundreds of thousands of genes. And a gene is a function, like the ability to suppress the tumor cell, suppress cancer cells, the ability to induce apoptosis or the death of a cell, the ability to break down unhealthy cells, like in the bone tissue. You got cells that rebuild or manufacture new bone tissue, and the old bone tissue has to be broken down and discarded to make way for the new growth. That's all enzymatic activity. Enzymes pretty much run the metabolic. The digestive enzymes, you got metabolic enzymes, you got food enzymes. But you only get them from food that's not cooked. So nutrition. So you have all the nutrition that the body requires. The body is fully functional. We don't have that in today's society because the food is so poor and so many nutrients that are non-existent. That's why people have B12 issues, iron issues, calcium, magnesium. Magnesium is at the core of the human cell, the blood cells. I mean, the cell in general, rather. So nutrition is vital.
Yeah.
And supplements don't do it because it's not in inorganic. It's not in organic form. That's why it has to be plant. So I don't extract. Can't take the plant and extract from it because minerals form bonds. It's called a valence or a balance. And everything has a charge on that. It's like what they call 8 octaves or 8 levels. You know, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. So like chloride is -2. -2 would be a perfect bond. That's what a free radical is. A free radical is when you have a mineral that doesn't have a balance. So it's free flowing, interrupting metabolism of other activities. The body uses minerals like cell salt, a base. -3 and +3, and math is 0. -1 and +1 is 0. -2 and +2. -3 and +3 is 0. 0 is 0. So it's a neutral charge, like salt. They say salt is not good because sodium. Well, it's a double pair: sodium chloride and potassium chloride. But then sodium and potassium, they complement. It's like the cell has more potassium on the inside and more sodium on the outside in the fluid. So it's that balance. The pump. When your heart constricts, when your arteries constrict, when the intestinal tract constricts, they call it peristaltic. Sodium constricted, potassium dilated. Sodium constricts. So that's called a sodium potassium pump. So whenever you have sodium, you got to have potassium for balance. So then you need the twofold balance: sodium chloride, potassium chloride. One alkali, one acidic. Balance. It's always about balance. So for homeostasis is. So you can use the word cure, we say homeostasis. Because just because somebody's diabetes is remedied, that don't mean they're healthy. There's some other inner workings that have to take place. Because it's not even about the disease or illness. It's about trying to achieve or come as close as possible to achieving homeostasis. That's where all the fluids, the cerebral spinal fluid, the blood, everything is around the 7.0 to 7.3 at the highest. That's it. Neutrals are alkaline. Neutrals are slightly alkaline. And then the amniotic fluid. That's the fluid that the fetus is in, the embryo is in, inside the sac, inside the uterus. And they measured the pH of the amniotic fluid by 7.1, 7.2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, I just as I click onto this, I found one other product, Serenity X. I forgot what that does again.
Hypertension, high blood pressure, insomnia, restlessness, fatigue, stress.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
One of the top imbalances in the society.
I see. Okay. And it said a 24-day supply. Okay. And then that was some nutrition I was reading. Okay. So let me click back. All right. And now let me check the comments and see if anybody did want to jump in. Let me just look now. And I hope that y'all guys, when you go back to the video, y'all like the video. Sharing is caring too. Let me stop sharing and let me check my hangout. Okay, it's just me right now. So I'm just gonna go check one last thing. And we could probably call it a night. Let's look. It seems me hold on. No, I'm not gonna add that person. Let me go up here. All right. All right. Yep. People just watching, and it looks like everybody's, onto other subject matters, probably other streams. So obviously they'll catch the replay of this stream. So I think we cover a lot tonight, Terrance, and it's been a very quiet night. So I'm pleased. So if you want to leave our listeners tonight with any closing remarks.
Always pleasant for the opportunity to share. Hope people take the information and be inspired by it and transform themselves into a better society.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the best side we gonna see, and it's a necessity now. You know what I'm saying? And only the strong will take in this information and make use of it. And the ones that don't want to take and discard it or think it's foolishness, they're gonna reap what they sow. Only a few people is gonna really take this thing seriously. Even myself, I gotta take things a little more seriously. I know this, and I'm admitting it for the first time. But like everybody else, I can't speak for everybody else but myself. And one thing I hope when people go back to this, that they really just really look into just the food. I mean, if you look at the picture I show, and I hope that you look at this replay too as well, Terrance, because I will share your site and scroll down.
Okay.
That they'll see the colors and beauty of real food that still exists in the world. It's not always a food that man has taken corrupted. You always gotta find where is real food. Does it still exist? Yes, it does. But
Always, when all that hybrid stuff die out, it's gonna be the last one standing.
Yeah, and Christina is very impressed with the information. She's giving a lot of fire emojis. She light it up, man. Yeah, man. But women, I think women should take this information a little more in depth than men anyway, because y'all the women, y'all deal with nature more than anything else. And one thing I want to say, Terrance, the role of woman in nature, to your perspective, what do you think the role is now for a lot of our women and nature in regards to food?
The reason why everything is such a disarray is the natural evolve for a woman is in nature, not city. So whatever a woman thinks of herself living in the city, she's much more than that when she's in nature because she connects. I mean, she was the first embodiment of humans. So for hundreds of thousands of years, all she knew was nature. This city thing, this is a Johnny come lately thing in the last 400 years. Before that, he was in nature from that point all the way to the very beginning. But I mean, 99.999% of the indigenous woman existed was in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Hugging trees, doing rituals, connecting with the spirit of the water, the spirit of the animals, the plants, talking to the spirits in the forest. That's when a woman had the ultimate power.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. And women had the
She was the first teacher.
Go ahead, say again. I'm sorry.
I said she was the first teacher. She taught man the ways of the land, the ways of the environment, as the mother taught the child. And as long as women don't get back to that, this society will be hurting. Because ain't no consciousness in this inner city living going to give them what they need to really maximize who they are. It's that kind of happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that the younger women, they don't want this corporate life. They want to go and live in the property. Even though some of them, went down there with that goofball nature boy, but it wasn't really about him. It was really about the experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It made me wonder what purpose Nature Boy have anyway. Even now, it seems like this dude is like wants to entice, touch up, hug up nature, and get screwed in the booty hole.
You don't know nothing about no nature. That's all conversation, because there's no way you can love nature and not adore the black woman. And you wouldn't be treating women the way you do if you were connected to nature, because they one in the same. When it comes to the human incarnation, a woman is a direct embodiment of nature. So how you gonna love nature and disrespect a woman? That don't coincide.
Mm-hmm. 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 But I tell you, man, he does say some. It's like this. He gets into the mind of a lot of these women because he talks that what's the word?
They're
I'm trying.
young.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They're young. That's all.
Yeah. I remember what was the young girl that's from New Orleans? I forgot her name. 27-year-old chick.
Come on, the Yaya.
Yeah, her.
She was the one everybody liked the most. She broke loose on him and told him about himself.
Oh wow.
She made him. She was the reason why he stopped calling the black woman was God. Because she was like, I can have polyandry. I can have me some husbands. He wasn't trying to hear that. He said, you say I'm a goddess. He said, if I'm God, then I'm entitled to what I want.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks that talk right there. Her.
Yeah. Oh, good old funny nature boy and his little freakiness. Say, yes, I am God. Yes, you're God, but I am God. So you're gonna listen to me. I remember one time he had to cut off one chick on a live stream saying, F out of here, man. I'm God. You better sit down and be my rulership, with some authority. I said, damn, dude, you got some bass in your mouth. And say, nature boy, you some, well, I ain't gonna say that. I'm being nice now because, and and the funny thing, Minister Inky, our good old, what it called, scientist with his so-called products, imagine though if and you and him could have did such wonderful work if he just get out of his ass. You know what I'm saying?
The same thing with Seppi.
Oh yeah. Same with Sal Netter too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but anyway. But enough of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? But I like everybody for listening to tonight's conversation. And I hope that you go back, like this video, comment, give feedback, and like always, share is caring, of this stream. But other than that, let the chaos reign.